Did we do the division here as well?
No, sir. Division we don't.
On the third, or probably just two. Anyway, I need to share one more thing with you. I think most of you have already started the thesis, right? Thesis? Or you are going to start maybe? Most of you are from 5th or 6th semester, right? Is it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Or then maybe it's a little bit late because you will do thesis from 9th semester anyway, 9th or 10th. Let me share one more thing, that whenever you do not only thesis, let me share one thing, not only thesis is needed for your other purpose as well. Do you know about IEEE?
Yes, sir.
I hope you know that as a computer engineer, this is IEEE website, as a computer engineer and also electrical engineer, this is a very good platform for us to study ourselves, to update ourselves, and also it will help you to do a lot of other tasks as well. This IEEE. I think you know that is an organization like IEEE is Total Elaboration is Institution of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. Okay, so this is a community. This is IEEE is actually two things. One is the community, that means all the electrical engineer, computer engineer, telecommunication engineer, they are connected together in a same or common platform, that is IEEE. And also another thing is IEEE is also a publisher. It publishes so many research papers, either it's a conference or a book or journal. You can see that they have 5,396,000 items. Items means either conference paper, journal paper, book, other services, courses, so many things. Okay, so that means it's really everything related to us. Us means our computer engineers or electrical engineers. So let's say, for example, you have one assignment to do, and you need to know about those assignments. Let's say I give you one assignment about assembly language, and you need some help. So where you should go and search? Obviously, Google search. So Google's actually giving you all the information from everywhere. But if you need a common platform from where you can find a very specific result or very specific paper you want or any resource you want, IEEE Explore is the best option for us. I think you know that this is not free. Very, very expensive. You can search here. You can get some of the title and abstract, but you don't have full access because it is very expensive. Generally, normal price is 1.4 million dollar. That means $14 lakh just to have access here. Very expensive for us. The good news is IUBG, the combined effort of IUBG and the UGC, that is the government, gives you this opportunity to access this IEEE absolutely free. Okay, but at the same time, it's free for you, but it is not free for IUBG, right? IUBG needs to pay a lot of money. I don't know exactly what is the amount, more than 5 lakh, 6 lakh, 10 lakhs, I don't know. But a huge amount of money the IUBG needs to pay, although it is a very reduced price because it is like more than 1 crore if you pay the regular price. So it is a very good opportunity for us, for IUBG, to get all this access. Remember, in our country, there are very, very few universities, especially private university, who has this access. Okay, so you are very lucky enough. So we are persuading a long time that we should have this IEEE access, and then eventually, like currently, you know that IUBG bought this for all of us. I mean, our students, our staff, and faculty, and everyone, only for IUBG. So how we can access it? You need to go to the institutional sign-in. You can go to the personal sign-in, but you cannot access it. If you have already account, for example, I have account, personal account here. but I have a very limited access, which I pay. I actually paid for some of the journals previously for my own research. So I can access only those journals. But if you go to the institutional sign-in, click, then sign in with username and password. Here, you can see you have username and password. So I suggest you note it down because it is for you as well, for the students. So please note it down, the username. I will explain what to do next, but please now just write the username. I'll give you the password. It is case sensitive. Let me zoom in. It is case sensitive and write it properly. This is the username. Small w, 7, small h, capital F, capital A, small b, capital N, small v. That is the username. Fine. Get it? Get it, right? Yes. Okay, I'll give you the password. So if you press sign in, hopefully they have not. Terminated. Yesterday I have accessed. No, it's fine. Thankfully, there was no problem. Anyway, you can see that I will give you the password. This is the password. So you can see that it is clearly written access provided by IUBAT. So it is only for us. Whatever username and password you can see, right? It is only provided by the IUBAT, only for IUBAT student, faculty, staff, and everyone in our IUBAT community. Okay? So the important thing is you cannot share this username and password with someone who does not belong to IUBAT. So if there is anything happened, like you misuse it, you share it with someone and there are some problem, remember our university name is here. Anything happens, and then IEEE will terminate this access. And all the liability should come to the IUBAT because it is clearly written, it is provided by IUBAT. So please, my request is do not share this username and password with someone who is not related to IUBAT family. So it should be the student, faculty, and staff, nobody else. If you do misuse of this, if you do share this one, the whole community will get, will not get this access. Remember, we already paid for this one. So in any kind of misuse or any kind of uses of this, it can actually terminate all of this. So please use it sensibly. This is the password, by the way, if you can see. Time to time, it will change, by the way. This username and password will change time to time. Please write it down, the password. Again, I am telling you that our name, our university name is here. So please do not do anything which will create some problem of our university. Remember, this is from the USA and they have some monitoring tool. They also can monitor the activity by this username and password. Our university was working very hard and they need to pay more just to give this one remote access. Otherwise, generally, you have to go to the university PC, and from the university PC, only from the university PC, you can access this one. But IUBAT actually giving you all this opportunity for you because you are far away from the campus so that you can access to this website and you can get benefit from here. Remember that this is not free. It is free for you, but it is not free for IUBAT. They have to pay a lot of money. They already paid a lot of money. So please use it sensibly. All right. I hope you have the password right. This can set is the username and password. Fine?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's see how we can use it. let's say we want to learn, let's say, image processing. Image processing, such. I don't know what happened to this website. Sometimes, what? Why? Image processing. Is it my network or it is their website? Come on. It's supposed to come thousands of results. My internet connection is fine. Come on, IEEE.
Maybe, sir, you are writing long time. That's what's happening.
So slow.
Right now, this website has more than 1 million plus traffic.
1 million what?
Right now, this website is having 1 million plus traffic.
Oh, here we have. Okay. I have just written any random thing. So you can see that we have 400,000 results. All right, just image processing. I have just written a random one. So you can also narrow down your search. Let's say conference, journal, magazine, early access, courses, standard book, everything. Let us just choose journals. That means I always prefer journal. Let me tell you why. Because the journal always gives you the full work or a finished work. Whereas the conference is not finished work. It's just initial work. They publish in the conference where you have just initiate some work, some initial results. But in the journal, it is a full research. It is a full finding. So it is always better. I suggest you try to read journal as well. But some of the conference paper are also very good. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. But personally, I prefer the journal and also the magazine also as well. From the magazine, you will know so many things from the early, which will come like after 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, which will be published in the magazine very early. Okay, so if you just narrow down it, let's say apply. Generally, it doesn't take that much time. Somehow it is taking so much time right now. Remember one thing again, that if with the same username and password, so many are trying to use it, please remember that they might have, reduced our access if we misuse it. So we can see that we have so many of them. I don't know why it is not. Provided by IBT. It should be accessed through all. Anyway, so we have all the journals right now. You can see that these are all journals. IEEE transaction, IEEE transaction on, okay. So many very good. Remember, these are very high ranked journal. It is not free for all. But now you can have access. I'm just giving you some examples. So you can now read it and you can download it as well. So how you can download, just click it here. So if it is like this symbol, that means you can download it, but it is this symbol, it should not be like this. All of them should have access. I don't know why they have not access here. Anyway, so let us click here. It will download it. One more thing, we also can reduce or narrow down much more. We can see that the paper is coming from 1907 until 2022. Why 2022? Because some of the paper will publish in next year, but still it is already available in the website. So we can narrow it down let's say we can narrow down like from 2016, just for an example, and then we apply it. By the way, in the meantime, let's see, these are the PDF version of the paper, which we have just found, and you can download it from here. Previously, you don't have any access. I don't have any access like this one because it was not free. Now it is accessible. You are allowed to download it, to read it from here. Okay. So it is a very good opportunity right now. Now you don't need to go to some other website, an illegal website. There are some illegal websites where you can download some of the papers, but this is totally illegal. Now you can download it. Now you can read it, study it properly, in the proper way, in the legal way, which is much more better. I never download any paper in illegal way, never. If it is not there, I generally buy them. Personally, I buy two or three journals. It is always better. It is a habit actually. It is my habit that I don't use any pirated software whatsoever, not a single one. My Windows, my Word, all of the softwares, I personally bought it. Every one of them. Either I get it from the university, Malaya, they gave us some software, or I personally bought it. None of the software is actually pirated whatsoever, whatever I have used, none of them. It is actually a habit. So, and also I did not download any paper which is not free, which is, so it is a habit. So I hope we'll also have the same habit, that don't use any pirated software, book, anything. All right, so this is the way you can see now. Now all the papers are for 2016, 2022. All the papers, you can see that. So you can narrow down your search as well, right? So just giving you some idea, because this access is for you. That's why I'm showing you. Maybe other faculty will show you as well and how they use it. But I was thinking that it should be shared with you, that because it is really helpful for you. I was thinking, so please use them for your assignment, for your project, for your thesis, for your practicum, for your any kind of study, self-study, for your, if you are doing any kind of project, job, anything, you can search here related to your job, your work, and then study from here. Very good platform. And as a computer engineer, it is actually a almost mandatory thing that you should have this kind of platform or access. Now, which actually I'm trying to do in my department, in our department, is IEEE generally in our country, is as I said, is a good community. So you can work together. For example, I'm a member of IEEE Communication Society, where I am connected with so many other professors who are working on wireless communication, because my work is wireless communication. So I was connected with so many professors in Buet, in Dhaka University, in Asanullah, so many other universities. So we are connected together. So we share our thoughts. We organize a conference. By the way, we organize a conference, international conference in Buet in next December, and we're working on it. So you have a very good network. Whenever you connected with this IEEE, you have a very good community with your same interest. For example, my interest is wireless communication. I'm connected with the Buet professor who are working electrical engineering professor, communication professor. And fortunately, we have so many other professors, very well-known professors in our country. Sometimes through them, we can connect it with the international professor as well. So it's a very good opportunity for us, like for the student, for the faculty, for all of us to connect each other who are actually in the same field. So I suggest you, which actually I'm trying, that all of our faculty must be the member of IEEE. Little bit expensive for the faculty, but it should be, because it is a very good opportunity. A sad thing is, as I said, I am a member of the IEEE Communication Bangladesh chapter, and sadly, I am the only person in that committee that from outside the public university, only me. And I am proudly represent IEBT. That's a very good thing. But the sad thing is there is nobody else there. All of them are Buet professor. even the current VC of the BUET as well, Dr. sir. So everything they are doing. So we don't have anything, like we don't have any access, we don't have any community, we don't talk to each other, we don't share our thoughts, we don't invite them, they don't invite us, we don't work together in any project. So there are so many projects happening in BUET, just for example. They are making, do you know, they are going to make 6G lab in BUET, not 5G, 6G lab. They're going to. How do I know? So the VCs are actually, the BUET VCs are, Dr. sir, he was telling us that they are going to build one lab in the BUET. So this is the community. This is the good thing about the networking. So you know that what is happening. You can work together, you can join together, you can learn from them. So I suggest you in the very near future, I will try to make our student that they should get the IEEE membership. And sadly, that I think we are so far behind because so many other private universities, they already have so many IEEE student bunch, but we don't have any. We must have one because nobody actually care. We should do that. All other university, I'm talking about private university, they already have so many IEEE branch, but we don't have, so we should do that. I will try to do that very soon, but let me give some time. It is a very good opportunity for you that you are working. Let's say, for example, if you are in a community, you have an opportunity to work with BUET, Dhaka University, Rajshahi, BUET, or so many other good private university as well. So you will learn from them. You have a very good networking skill as well, which will improve your employability, which will improve your skill, which will improve your knowledge, so many things, which is much better for you as well. So let me give some time. So let me arrange this one first for, we have first step was done, that we have access here. Second step is our faculty, and third step is you. So it will be very soon, inshallah. We will try our best to give you all the opportunity. Remember, all of this is just one reason. Whatever we are doing, just for one reason, that we will try to give you all possible facility as much as possible for us, to you, to the students, so that you can get benefit from it. That is the only reason. There is no other reason, by the way. So please think about it, okay, prepare for it, and we will do it very soon, and try to use them to develop yourself, okay, to learn something and also increase your skill and knowledge. So I suggest you please use this one sensibly. Okay, fine. That is the main intention, nothing else. Fine. Any question so far?
No, sir.
All right. So please use it sensibly. And my earnest request that please do not misuse the username and password. As you can see that there are some problem. It is the first time I was using last 1 week, but it is the first time I saw there is some problem. Anyway, please do not misuse it. Otherwise, you will lose this opportunity. So,
Sir, hello.
Yeah.
Sir, for my internet connection, I lost first 10 minutes. So I don't know how to explore this website.
Or just go to the IEEE, look at the website, IEEE Explore, look at the website, IEEE-explore.IEEE.org. You just go to the Google and write IEEE Explore. Look at the IEEE Explore, here, IEEE Explore. Go there, you will have username and you will have a front page. From there, go to the institutional sign-in. And username and password, I think it's given in the chat box here.
Okay, sir.
Go to
Thank
the
you.
institutional sign-in, click the username and password, and this is username, that is password. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right. Any other problem, any other thing? So remember that there are very few universities in our country who have this access. So you are one of the luckiest. Because previously, as I said, I don't have access here in Bangladesh after having my PhD. So I was struggling a lot to access this kind of papers. Remember, when I was in undergrad, I didn't have any access in SAST. Although it's like 20 years ago, but still. and that's why I have to pay. I have to pay it, and it was expensive. I paid like more than $200 per year just to have two magazine access. So it's that much expensive. So please use this opportunity. It's a great opportunity. Use them for any kind of study. If you are, let's say you are doing some self-study, you want to do some self-study, you want to know that, let's say, for example, after 2 semesters, you are going to do a thesis. So we need to know about the thesis topic. So you don't know about thesis topic. So just search here. I mean, instead of doing the Google it, search here, you will see thousands of topics here. So it will help you as well in any purpose. Okay. Hopefully you can enjoy it. All right, fine. So let's go to our normal. Go back to our this course. So we have not done this one with like division. Let me remind you about the division. Let's come back to our course. Do you know one thing? Why I always give preference to research or to self-study is we have a wrong perception about university study. Wrong perception. We think that, most of us think that university study is very similar to like school or college. So you have a textbook, you memorize something, and in the exam you write something and go away and forget it. That's how we study, which is absolutely inappropriate and also wrong, because university is totally different thing, far away and far different than the college study or school study. Because the university, don't just study something for grade. You actually need to improve yourself, especially us means CSC engineers. You know that the CSC actually, or the computer science engineering, electrical telecommunication, all sort of this kind of engineering, these actually rapidly change every month. Every month there's some new technology. So if you learn something which is very old, let's say you are now learning like how to work on 3G, right? Let's say, for example, you know how to work in 3G. And you never know that already 5G already launched and that there's two new technology in 5G. Someone also thinking about 6G as well. Don't worry about that. But if you know only 3G, tell me that as a computer engineer, how you expect that you get a job? There are very few companies who are currently using the 3G equipment. Very few. They already replace it by 4G equipments. 4G is completely different technology. And now they are trying to buy the 5G equipment as well very soon. Although our network connection is very slow, I know we have 2G connection, I know, still. The point is, if you don't upgrade yourself, if you don't know that currently everyone is working on 5G, right? And imagine about 6G. Why currently we need to read 3G? Absolutely useless. There are so many other countries in the world, they already shut it down 3G. No service, not even 2G. 2G was shut down like long ago. So many countries. Don't worry about our country. All right, our country is exceptional. Other countries I'm saying, talking about, they already shut it down. If you don't believe me, go and Google it. That countries who shut down 2G, you can see long list. Or you also can Google it. That the countries who already shut down the 3G also, they have already done it long ago. So the point is, if you don't upgrade yourself, because the technology is upgrading day by day, every single day, every single month, if you don't upgrade yourself, you cannot cope up with the competition, especially in the job market. I think I told you one example every time to all my students that I think I gave you the example of the Grameen Fund, right? Previously? Did I? No? Okay. The common example I gave to the Grameen Fund, that they already give the forced retirement of 100 top-level engineer. They give them the forced or early retirement. 100 top level or mid top level engineers and ask them, so please retire and leave Grameenphone. Do you know why? The one reason, the most important reason is those engineers are quite old or middle-aged and they don't know the current technology that much. So they give them retirement and they recruit another 100 young researcher or young professional who know or who is expert on the current and future technology, because the telecommunication will shift from 4G to 5G and to the other technology as well. That is the reason. So they already force retirement or early retirement of the middle 100 engineers, and they want to recruit more 100, replace them, who has the skill of the current and future technology. Let's say the technology of AR, VR, 5G, and autonomous thing, IoT, and so many things, AI. But all those 100, they are actually like old kind of engineer because they don't have that much expertise or experience on the new technology. That is the shifting. I read it from the newspaper, by the way, it's not from anywhere else, from the newspaper. That is the transformation. So if you don't upgrade yourself, you cannot expect that you can cope up with this industry, because you are going to be a computer engineer. That's why I always think that, that's why I think that if you don't upgrade yourself, if you don't study, if you don't research, it is impossible to get a very good position in the future. Yes, you can do it like rest of the life if you want. Okay, I want to do rest of my life like HTML, PHP or something like that, rest of my life. You can, no problem. If you think that, okay, I will do rest of my life in call center, you can, no problem. But if you really want to be something like in the very bright future, then you have to upgrade yourself. That's why you have to do study, research, and this is the very good platform. Without this, it is really impossible. Or no, maybe it is very difficult or tough. So please upgrade yourself every time. Do not just memorize or do something for marks. Yes, marks is important, but still knowledge is much more important than marks. Okay, so, okay, my bad habit. Come back to our course. So in division, we have 3 types of division, like 8-bit, 16-bit, and 32-bit. And we know that in 8-bit division, our divisor is 8-bit, but our dividend is double the size, 16-bit, right? Same as 16-bit division. So our source or divisor is 16-bit, but our dividend is 32-bit in 2 different registers. Remember, we store our dividend in 2 different registers. That doesn't mean that it's 2 different numbers. Combinedly, it's 1 number. Whenever you write div like this, whenever you write this div cx, the processor is actually considering these 2 registers as 1 number, because it considers there is a very big number. So it's not separate number. It's the same number, but we store it separately, lower bit and higher bit, because this is a common mistake in the division whenever I check and whenever I do your Viva. So please don't make mistake that these are 2 not different numbers, same number, but we put it in a separate register, and the processor will consider these 2 as 1 number. Okay, so that is 16-bit, and the same way as the 32-bit as well. So now the question is about this. It is asking to do the division, and these are our 2 numbers. Think logically. Explain it logically. What do you think that which format you are going to choose to do this division, and why? Logically. Think about it. If you can explain it, very good. Remember, I always read your explanation rather than your code or rather than your writing, because I know you actually sometimes memorize. What do you think? Which one? Remember, this is the 5020 and your first 4 digits. Let's say, for example, your first 4 digits is 1910, just for an example. Right. So you are dividing 5020 divided by 1910. What do you think? Which format you are going to choose? Because you have to write in the explanation that we are going to choose this because of that reason.
Sir, 16-bit.
16.
16-bit, okay? Why?
Sir, because our dividend 19110. That's why it is 16-bit, not in under 8-bit.
This is the divisor. Yeah, this is the divisor. Yeah. So 1910, that means 1910, right? 1910. You are saying that we need to store, it is a 16-bit number.
Yes, sir, more than 8-bit.
More than 8-bit, yes, correct. That means you cannot store 1910 into the 8-bit divisor, right? Because we can store maximum 255, right? In 8-bit decimal number.
Yes, sir.
255. So that means we cannot store this into any 8-bit register. We need a bigger place. So the next bigger place is the 16-bit division, where we have a 16-bit, and then it is very, easy to store it. I hope you remember in 16-bit we can store maximum around 65,000. So 1,900 is quite enough. Fine, okay. How about this one? 5020?
32.
So 32.
Yeah, 32. But how you are going to store it?
First 16-bit in AX. Then the remainder will be stored in DX.
So DX will be empty maybe because sir, the
yes, sir.
demanded value is 16-bit, all in under 16-bit.
Can you please, okay, Mominur Rahman, I will come back, I'll come to you, but let me finish this discussion. So why what is the way, because 5020 we want to store here, right, in 32-bit place. How we are going to store it? How are we going to store it 5020? We have two registers, each of them are 16-bit, 16-bit and 16-bit. How we are going to store this one, 5020? Here, because we have chosen this 16-bit division.
So lower number 16-bit will store in AX, and the higher 16-bit will store in DX. But in this case, we have to only use AX because our 5020 is under 16-bit.
Okay. How do you know that 5000 is under 16? You can store it in the 16-bit. How we can?
Sir, the limit of 16-bit is higher than 5020.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Yeah, you're correct. You're correct. I understand your answer. Anyone else? My question is that how we are going to store 5020 in these two registers. This is a 32-bit. Remember, 32-bit space in two different registers, but combined is one space, which is 32-bit, and the processor will consider in one as a one number. So how we are going to store this number into here, 32-bit space? Anyone else? Come on. Anyone else? Let me help you. Before that, Mominur Rahman, what is the question?
No, sir, my answer was quite the same. Someone actually answered the same thing what I wanted to say.
Okay, fine. So I hope you remember that we have done one example which is for 7.4. We have done this example before the exam. So this is also the same, exactly same, 16-bit division. Look at the numbers, is almost similar. 5174, we have 5020, same number. And 300, of course, it is more than 8-bit. So what we have done here, can you explain? I think if you can explain this one, it is quite similar here as well. Same thing. So can you remember or can you explain that what we have done here and why? Just explanation. Look at the code, and this is 16-bit division as well. Why we have written this, the reason. It is the same, DX and AX. Okay, let's consider that they have converted this one into the hexadecimal number, so it's fine. After that,
So here DX register is empty. That why we have to declare XOR DX DX. That means the value of DX equal to 0. Because sir, there may be some garbage value and that will create a problem in our program. That's why we have.
Yeah, that is one reason. That is one reason. There is another reason to do this XOR. Can you remember? You are correct. First reason is correct. Second, there is another reason to do this. Remember that we have a 32-bit number. We have a 32-bit number, right? Combinedly, these two 32-bit number. This is not. It is not occupy all these 32 bits, right? It will occupy maybe 12, 13, 14 bits, right? This 5020 only maybe 16 bit, maybe, or 17 bit, or something 16 bit. Most probably it's less than 16 bit, of course. So what we are going to do with this number? I hope you remember, if you have less number of bits and if you want to make it like larger number, like we have the 13 bits number here, but we need a 32-bit number. So what we need to do, how we can convert from 13 bits to 32 bits? How we can convert a positive?
Adding 0.
Exactly, correct. By adding 0. By adding 0 on the leftmost side, we actually can convert any smaller digit number into the higher digits number. So we know that 5020 is like maybe 13, 14, 15 bits long. How about the rest of the bit? Because we need to make 32-bit number here. So to do that, we need to make all 0 on the left side, right? So how we are going to do all the 0 in the DX? That's why we use the XOR. Because XOR means if the same thing means 0, different is 1. So that's why we do it same XOR. That's why all of the digits in the DX register will be all 0, okay? And our 5020 will be stored into the AX. So when you write the code to div, then the processor will get all these two numbers and consider as one number. So the processor will see, okay, 00000 and then 5020. That means the number is 5020. Then they do the division. That's why we have done this one. Fine, and then we have converted. Move this number into the AX register. And as we are doing the 16-bit division, so our source should be the 16-bit register. That's why we have using CX. This is because this is CX is a 16-bit, and we do the division like this. Simple. I suggest you that please convert this one into the hexadecimal number, and then you can write, because you have to write also the value of the register. You cannot write the value of the register in a decimal number, because the register value is not the decimal number, hexadecimal number or the binary number. So it is always better you write in hexadecimal number. So it will be the same. It will be the same. So if you write the code, what should be the code? Let's consider we don't convert it into the binary. We can also, by the way, if you look at this example, they also have move. They have written the move instruction by using the decimal number. So it is also correct. So what should be the code here to do this division? Number 4, this one. First of all, anyone?
Sir, XOR DX.
Okay. XOR DX, DX. Fine. After that, move. Anyone, please try. We need to move the numbers.
To move X.
X.
5020. The value.
5020, the value. Okay, then move again, right? And this one, second one. Come on, hurry up. This one.
So move CX.
CX. And the value 1910, let's say, for example. Then div, right? Div, which one?
So CX.
Div CX, yes, correct. So now this is the code. same as this one. Remember, we only do the XOR if our number is small enough to store into the AX. If our number is bigger, which we cannot store it into the AX, but we need more space from the DX, we cannot do this XOR, remember that. All right, we cannot do that. We only can do that when it is necessary. So do not just memorize that every time we need to do XOR. We need to do XOR whenever it is necessary. Okay, so please do not memorize this one that you have to do every time. Fine, hopefully you understand. Any question so far? No, it's fine, okay. Let us discuss one more time with the multiplication, because I saw that some also have the similar problem of the multiplication. Let's say, for example, we want to do the similar kind of thing. So the same question I actually close it. So if you want to do the multiplication of this instead of division, how are you going to do that? Let's say same thing, 1920. How are you going to do that multiplication? Let me remind you about the multiplication. In the multiplication we also have 3 different formats, very similar: 8-bit, 16-bit, and 32-bit division, multiplication, right? So how we can do this multiplication? Which one you choose and why? Same question, but multiplication. Anyone?
So 16-bit.
16-bit what?
So second format, AX into 16-bit source.
This one, 16-bit multiplication. So why we need to do 16-bit multiplication? Because both of the numbers are not really can be occupied in the 8-bit, right? But the problem is both of the number are not in the same size. They are not 16-bit long. So what we can do? There is one thing that we need to consider, that in multiplication, both of the numbers should be the same size, right? That is the multiplication. Both of the numbers should be the same size. If they are not in the same size, you have to convert them into the same size. For example, if it is 8-bit and 8-bit, that is fine. If it is 5-bit by 3-bit, then we need to convert them same way into the both of them are 8-bit, and then we can multiply. Same as here and same as here as well. So they might not be, whenever you convert them into the binary or the hexadecimal number, they may not be the same size. So they are not in the same size. We need to convert them into same size. Similar way, adding all 0. Not a problem. But the question is, in the multiplication, we also have 2 different types of multiplication, which we did not use it into the division. In the multiplication, we have practiced, or we have considered a signed and unsigned multiplication, right? Signed and unsigned. So can you remember, for example, in this case, this is an unsigned multiplication where we are multiplying 8-bit by 8-bit, and we consider them. This means 255, and this is 255. This is the answer. But if we, by the way, it might be the wrong answer. So if we consider as a signed number the same digits, consider as -1. So the question is how the processor will know that this is a -1 or this is a positive 255. How the processor will know or identify?
So in signed number, the leftmost digit will be 1, a negative.
Look at this number. This is unsigned number. The leftmost digit is 1 as well. Still, it is 255.
So this is unsigned number.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. Look at these 2 numbers. They are same numbers, same digits. These are all 1. this is all 1 as well. How do you identify them? By looking at the digits. I hope you understand the problem. Both of the numbers are same. If someone doesn't tell you that this is a -1 or this is a positive 255, how do you identify? Is it possible?
So we are using the icon, sir, and well.
Yes. A little bit more explanation. How the processor will know that this is -1 or this is 255. How the processor will know. You're correct. Explain it in full sentence.
So when we use
Cannot hear you. Fine. Cannot hear you
so when we
properly.
use certain amounts, understand that.
Yeah, so I understand. Maybe your answer is correct. That if you write the MUL and then write a source, right? Then the processor will understand, okay, you have written the instruction MUL. That means whatever the digits it has, it will consider as unsigned number, right? So based on your instruction, the processor will identify either it's a positive number or it's a negative number. It's a signed number or it's an unsigned number. Again, based on your instruction. The processor will not think by itself. It will follow your instruction. So if you instruct the processor MUL and then the number, then it will consider, okay, all the digits, it is considered as unsigned. But if you write IMUL and then the number, then you will, not you, the processor like this one, the processor will consider that, okay, whatever the digits I will get from the register, it will be unsigned, it will be signed number, and that it can be positive or negative, depends on the digits. All right, so the processor will understand based on your instruction. If you write IOML, then the processor will identify as a signed number, or if you just write MUL, then the processor will identify as the unsigned number. Very, very important understanding, or the issue is this one, that how the processor will know. Whenever you do write any code, you always think about that how you write the instruction. So based on your instruction, the processor will act or will activate or will do the next execution. Fine. So whenever we, let's say in the exam, why I'm saying this again and again, you might have one in the exam, final exam, we might have one scenario, right? You might have one scenario, I give you one scenario, and I'll ask you to multiply these two numbers. Then you have to think, you have to identify, you have to choose either it's a signed number or it's an unsigned number. And based on that, you should write the code, right? So you cannot expect a straightforward question. Okay, do this unsigned multiplication or do this signed multiplication. You cannot expect that. That's why every time I was trying to tell you, try to understand. If you know the fact, not a problem. Very similar to this problem. There, in this question number 3, there was nowhere is written that you need to delete this number. It's asking only to delete this number. Then from your understanding, you have to think logically that without deleting this number, you cannot delete this number. That's why you have to delete both of the numbers. First issue. Second issue is there is nowhere written that you have to delete this number as well, but we have deleted both of the numbers. That means you have to push that number back like this. So this is all common sense. This is all about thinking logically. This is not a straightforward question, right? Nowhere is written that much thing. You're just asking delete this number. Then the next you have to think forward. Same as the multiplication and division, all kind of question. You need to think forward. If you don't copy blindly, that's a different case. But if you do try to answer the question properly, logically, appropriately, then you have to think forward that, yeah, let's try to understand what is it actually asking for and what should I write here. So please try to understand all the facts. If you know the fact, no problem. And also I told you that most of the time you will get most of the marks based on your process of writing, not based on your answer. Not based on your, let's say I asking you to multiply two numbers and you give me the correct answer by multiplying and you expect the full marks. Not really. I actually see the process you are doing. I check the explanation you are writing rather than the answer. It is not about the answer. Yes, correct answer got some marks, but most of the marks is actually the process and the writing explanation. That is the most important part. 70% of the marks is based on the process you are following and the explanation of the process you are actually following. And the rest of the 30 marks, you got the right answer or wrong answer. So please do it correctly and logically. Then marks, no problem at all. Fine. Any question? Any question? No? You're happy? Not happy?
So happy, sir.
So happy. You're forcefully happy. No problem. Why don't you talk that much, by the way? Whenever you're in the campus or whenever you're in the physical class, you actually talk too much during the class to each other. Why don't you talk during the online class? Why don't you, interact for shyness or for fear or not interested? That's why. Remember one thing, all this I am doing, like all this explanation and the same thing I am actually explaining again and again and again, only for one reason, that you are not going to do the same mistake we have done already in the first term and midterm. I want to see that all of you got 100 out of 100 in the final exam. That's what I want. To make sure that one, I'm giving you so many chances, same lecture, same explanation again and again and again, so that you will, all of you got a very good marks, because your marks are very, very poor. If you check your first term and midterm, very poor, absolutely poor. So please, your section C, right? I'm giving you that illness. Please try to use this opportunity, try to interact with me, try to learn something. Otherwise, sorry to say that you have unexpected grade, which I actually don't want to give you, to be honest. I want to give you all the highest marks, but the problem is you have to achieve it. You have to deserve it. Okay. Fine. Yes.
Sir, is it mandatory in division that we have to convert the decimal number into hexadecimal?
Kind of necessary, because whenever you try to write the value of the register, right, you cannot write the value of the register as a decimal number, because the decimal number should not be inside the register, right? That is inside the register. You should have the hexadecimal number. That's why I was asking that you should convert into the hexadecimal number. But if you write the code in decimal number, it is not wrong. I'm not saying that it's wrong. It is correct. But whenever you're trying to give the explanation, it is cannot justify your answer. That is the problem. Because by looking at 5020 number, how do you know that it's a 16-bit number? But if you convert this number into hexadecimal number, so by saying that, okay, this is a hexadecimal number and it will occupy only 16-bit, then your explanation is verified and justified. Right? Do you understand, Shahida Ahmed?
Yes,
Right. It is
Sir,
better.
our class time is over.
Yes, I know, Mr. Ruwal. That's why I'm giving you the attendance. So CSC 197 section C, Shakil Ahmed.
Present, sir.
Mominur Rahman.
Present, sir.
Shahidul Islam. Moinul Islam.
Yes, sir.
Himel Shokar.
Sir, Saidul Islam present.
Okay. Himel Shokar.
Yes, sir.
Right. Shahriar Haq.
Yes, sir.
Adimul Haq Mani.
Present, sir.
Ukit Hassan.
Yes, sir.
Syed Mukhidul Islam, Shabuj.
Yes, sir.
Bikon Kumar Das.
Present, sir.
Amit Hassan. Amit Hassan.
So he sent message in chat box.
All right. Rubel Babu, Rizwan Ahmed.
Present, sir.
Jannati Naim. Absent. Imtiaz Tasnim.
Yes, sir.
Shahid Ahmed.
Present, sir.
Hadi Akhtar.
Yes, sir.
Jessica. Rahul Debnath.
Yes, sir.
Abdul Sawur.
Present, sir.
Farhan Kabir.
Yes, sir.
Rubai Talo.
Yes, sir.
Samuel Rudro.
Yes, sir.
Ami Akhtar.
Yes, sir.
Sumaya Islam. Abir Hussain. Fahim bin Shohid. Muhammad Mahbub Alam.
Sir, Mahbub Alam was in the class, but he lost his connection.
Durak Tamim.
Yes, sir.
Shin Tasnim.
Yes, sir.
Jamiul Islam. Sharia